Hello everyone, I welcome all of you to this show organized by dynamicCIO. I am your host for the show. My name is Muqbil Ahmar, Executive Editor, Greyhead Media in dynamicCIO. Friends, we all know and would agree that the COVID-19 crisis has indeed taken a toll on businesses and their IT environments as they grapple with adjusting to the new normal. In fact, ensuring business continuity for both now and moving forward would actually determine how fast and how well we'll overcome the challenges staring at us and recover from this crisis. Moving to a cloud IT infra is one of the ways to overcome the challenges. In fact, in the current scenario, when organizations are increasingly adopting multiple cloud strategies for the remote working requirements, they are facing challenges, which is not unnatural and which ranges from costs to vulnerabilities. To stay relevant and competitive in this era, organizations are overcoming multi-cloud complexities and trying to find success in their own ways. To discuss all this today, I have with me Amit Luthra, Director and General Manager, Data Center Solutions, Dell Technologies India. He will elaborate more on such issues. Welcome to the show, Amit. Hope you're doing well.
Hey, thanks, Muqbil. I'm doing well and I trust you and your family and everyone having a look at this webcast are doing well.
Amit, really delving into the discussions that revolve around the subject of hybrid cloud today. So we see that the world is actually moving rapidly towards hybrid cloud infrastructure, and which is all aimed at reaching new levels of business agility, reliability, and control with a simplified and consistent approach. Of course, for this, they will need a digital blueprint to prepare for the hybrid environment of the future, in which on-premises infrastructure can seamlessly integrate the public cloud. So, in your opinion, as a technology leader, what do you think are the key challenges that enterprises and businesses face today while migrating to a hybrid cloud setup?
So let me give you a perspective, right? When we go back and talk to our customers, the common theme that we see as a challenge is consistency. And when I mean by consistency, it's consistency at each and every level. It's consistent operations, right? In a cloud environment, it's very important that the operations team, which is managing the cloud, has a consistent experience. So the first thing within the consistency is the consistent operations. Second is the consistent infrastructure experience, right? Like how you are creating a virtual machine or how you are creating a container. Is it the same experience as if I'm creating an on-premises, as if I'm creating in a public cloud or in a hybrid cloud environment? So in nutshell, the biggest challenge that we see which enterprises face is consistency, and that consistency is basically on the experience and the operations. Literally, customers want to look at to have an experience which is the same irrespective their workloads reside at. They can reside at the edge, they can reside at the core, or they can reside at the cloud.
Correct. So, Amit, we see that the unprecedented circumstances which are in place today, and the current scenario where organizations are increasingly adopting multiple cloud strategies, particularly for the remote working offsite because of the lockdown conditions and all of that, and those requirements, they are facing challenges which ranges from, say, unpredictable costs to security vulnerabilities. So, in the context of all this, do you think enterprises need to adopt something like a cloud first approach where it is where they become cloud natives and actually don't have to face a lot of hassles which is associated with on-premises or legacy IT infrastructure?
Two things, right? Every CIO that I talk to is focused on managing their application portfolio. Cloud is an operating model. Cloud is definitely, if the way you manage your applications in that cloud becomes a strategy. But most importantly, the changing needs of workloads and applications are driving the cloud first strategy. So if we go back and see what the complete portfolio of applications is in any data center, there are two kinds of applications. One is existing workloads. I would say they are traditional workloads, and second is the cloud native workloads. These are workloads that are born in the cloud kind of a scenario. So at this moment, what we see is that all the CIOs are focused heavily on managing their application portfolio, and in this process, to make it much more efficient, cloud becomes their easiest and first choice to manage that.
In your view, in your opinion, how would you suggest organizations, enterprises, and businesses, how do they go about, designing something like an optimal or an ideal roadmap for the right cloud strategy? Because a lot of people think that this right cloud strategy is imperative for any sort of digital transformation, particularly in today's era.
So it's a three-step strategy. You have actually asked me a very interesting question, right? There is no straightforward answer to it, but I can give you based on the experience of organizations that have successfully adopted cloud strategy. First, to begin with, they will need to have an integrated set of software and hardware solutions that can be deployed in variety of edge locations, be it core, private clouds, co-located data centers, cloud data centers. But most importantly, these integrated set of hardware and software solutions need to deliver an consistent infrastructure experience, right? And this consistent infrastructure experience is for the applications which they are being deployed. For example, there cannot be an performance, an application is giving very high on premises, and there is a lag in the application performance when it is moved into the cloud. So that infrastructure experience need to be consistent, irrespective whether the application is resided on premises or on the cloud. Second thing is to manage all this, they need to have some common management and orchestration tools. So something like a common operational hub that delivers a consistent cloud consumption. So it should be as easy as creating a virtual machine on premises or as easy as creating it a container on premises or on the cloud. So regardless whether the underlying infrastructure is residing where, irrespective of the location it is residing. So it's important to have a consistent operational experiences across locations, across clouds, right? And finally, it's important to have overarching services, because what happens is everyone goes and thinks about infrastructure, thinks about orchestration and management tools, thinks about operations. But most important thing is how do you span your security? How do you build data protection? How do you do lifecycle management? So is an overarching envelope there to take care of services in those aspects. These three things, organizations that have got right are doing successful with their clouds.
Actually, one of the points that you pointed out brings me to my next question. You spoke about a number of factors which must be kept in mind. So, security is one such, which is particularly worrying for a few industries which deal with, really sensitive information, and they actually worry a lot about the safety of their data. For example, the BFSI sector, banking and financial, healthcare sector, all of which are dealing with highly sensitive data. So there is a common concern, about data security in the cloud. So in your opinion, how secure is the data in the cloud?
The data in the cloud is pretty much secure if right tools are being taken care of. I would say that as enterprises look to gain benefit of an hybrid cloud infrastructure, data security must be an critical priority. It cannot be ignored. It cannot be taken for granted. So solutions, we do have solutions and tools that takes care of flexible data encryption, key management solutions for data which at rest, whether they are in public, private, or hybrid cloud environments. With simple independent controls, sensitive data and workloads can be taken care. These tools literally help security teams to secure and maintain control of virtual machines or containers or any sensitive data on their premises or in the cloud. So it's very important to have a robust security envelope. and see how the infrastructure, the hardware, the operations hub, the management, the orchestration layer is seamlessly integrating with the security or resiliency framework that is built in the cloud.
Amit, coming more towards your own company, which is Dell Technologies. So these are really uncertain times, unprecedented, has never happened before. Nobody could have imagined. So how are you helping customers during these unprecedented times?
We have launched something called as Dell Technologies on Demand. Basically, Dell Technologies on Demand is a program wherein organizations can pay as they grow. They can make predictable payments over an agreed upon terms and conditions and then grow over a period of time. Then we have a facility of pay as they use. So they can make monthly payments based on the variable usage, elastically upscale, scale up or scale down based on their workloads and usages, and then pay as a service. So we give them flexibility, pay as they grow, pay as they use, or pay as a service. Dell Technologies on Demand is being widely acknowledged, accepted program by most of our customers and partners.
Do you see, I mean, particularly in today's era, do you see that there is some kind of a rise in the adoption of cloud, whether it's, all variations of cloud, and do you see a rise in the adoption of such technologies?
Yeah, definitely. We do see a rise in the technologies, right? As I mentioned, a cloud is not a destination or an operating model. It's something each and everyone listening to this interview knows, acknowledge. It's not rocket science. It's how you consume IT is important, right? It's a different way to consume IT, and pretty much with the kind of demand that applications in today's world are putting in, cloud becomes their first choice.
You spoke about how applications are really becoming the center of the economy. So what is the focus of Dell Technologies, particularly the multi-cloud strategy for the India market in 2020?
We have one vision. And the vision is to enable our customers to take control of their cloud, right? Unless we enable our customers to take control of their cloud by simplifying their deployment and operations, any of these solution will not, from our side, or framework from our side will not be of any use. We want them to be successful for us to be successful, and we do it with four ways, right? We can help them to migrate quickly without disruption. This is very important. When you are having traditional applications, you are having cloud native applications, you are migrating workloads between clouds, migrating workloads between data centers, migrating between multiple variations. It's very important to do this without disruption because every disruption costs business money. Second is to build everything on reliable and secure infrastructure. We take utmost care in each and every component to build reliability and security in each and everything which we do. The third thing is to give all our customers a consistent experience. This is something which I've been talking throughout this discussion. Unless you have consistency, the learning and of different platforms makes very difficult, right? And most important thing is to sustain innovation within the flexible cloud solutions which we have, right? We do continuously innovate new things and enable our organization customers so that they can take control of their cloud.
Correct. You rightly mentioned that customer experience and how important it is to have a consistent customer experience. So moving on and switching gears, we all know how critical data is in today's economy and in the tech landscape. A lot of people say that it's data is the new oil. So how is Dell Technologies focus on a data first approach? How do you differentiate it from its competitors, from your competitors? And in your opinion, how would such an approach impact critical IT efficiency?
It's very important when we have discussion with our customers. We acknowledge that they have something already running, which is keeping their lights on, keeping their applications on. So whatever we do or we try to help in their journey should be non-disruptive. We cannot go back to our customers and say, hey, whatever you have bought, you use it for something else, I can give you a greenfield grounds up uh, architecture, landscape, or infrastructure. We don't do that. That's first important differentiated strategy that we do. And we are, with that confidence, we do that because of our breadth of portfolio. We understand that no one solution can solve all problems. We need to have right solutions for right problems. Four things which we keep in mind: we enable organizations to support multiple clouds, because we do understand that most organizations have multiple clouds. It can be from major cloud service providers in the market. It can be from major local cloud service providers in the market. So it's important that we enable them the support for and multi-cloud environment. Second is, we help them and build and run their modern applications. It's very important, right? We do understand the application needs. Otherwise, infrastructure is infrastructure, right? And the biggest strength of our portfolio comes in with wherein we give single vendor experience. The IP that we carry, right from managing data to storing data, to managing data, to driving insights, to helping them in a multi-cloud environment built with security, data protection, resilience. Everything is coming from one neck to garland, right? So it's a single vendor experience which helps them to build this consistent management across clouds. So that's what we do, and we only do this because we understand that data is heart of everything, and the way data needs to be managed, it needs to be managed. Unless it's understood first well, it never can be managed well.
True. Completely agree with you. And so you once again pointed out towards the criticality of a customer experience centric approach, which is quite natural and very apt. And at this point of time, I would like to tell our viewers that Dell Technologies has been recognized as the best hybrid cloud technology provider in 2020 by Frost and Sullivan. So, what are your thoughts on that, and what contributed to this success?
So one, definitely, we would like to thank our customers, partners, and even to actually acknowledging our efforts in the hybrid cloud environment. Uh, I think it is about understanding the act right. It's very easy to go back and say this is a framework which will work, or this is what we have. Organization should look into it. We have to take a back seat and understand what is that organizations want in an complex chaos world, right? There are these terminologies, the cloud chaos. So how do we actually simplify the cloud chaos, and how do we make it real? We make transformation real, and that differentiates us from anyone else in the industry.
Amit, we spoke about a lot of things today: digital transformation, the criticality of hybrid cloud model, and how enterprises are moving towards it. So, final thoughts on this entire. How do you see the technology landscape evolving?
Definitely, the technology landscape is evolving, right? Today, most of these discussions that we do are not in whiteboarding stages, which was not the case last year. Last year, everyone wanted to walk this path. Most of these discussions which were there, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and stuff, gaining insights, were all on whiteboarding stages. Organizations today understand that this is a differentiator that they can bring in their industry with respect to their competition. So we do understand the business workloads, business conversations, the application. So our heart of our discussion is, in a data center, you have an application and you have a data. So these are two important tenets of a data center. Data resides on industry leading storage platforms, right? An application decides the next course of an action. If we get the act balanced between both of this, we can help any organization in their transformation journey, and that's what we actually focusing for.
Right. So extremely valid points on the simplicity of data and its importance. So thanks a lot, Amit, for joining us today. And friends, we spoke about how a consistent operating model and simplified management across public cloud, private cloud, and edge locations can help eliminate silos through a single operational hub and provide you the edge in this competitive world. Thank you all for watching, and it's been a pleasure talking to you, Amit.
Same here. Thank you, Muqbil.